All right, well, if you've been following what's been going on with Bambu Lab and all the new stuff they're coming out with, specifically the new P2S, I gotta make sure I get the names right. A lot of people are wondering, when's the new X2S coming out? Or is it going away? Let's talk about what's going on here, all right? This is the new H2D, and that's the dual nozzle. As you can see here, it's got the dual nozzle system. Then they came out with the H2S, which is a single nozzle system. Shortly after that, they replaced the P1S with the P2S, and we gotta be honest, it looks decidedly like an X1 carbon. Other than having the little side grips like you get on the H2D, it has the same shell, the same screen. It has almost all the same functionality. In fact, a bit more than the H1 carbons or the X1 carbon. So is this gonna get an X2 version, or is it going to go away? So a lot of people are speculating there's only gonna be 3 series going forward. There'll be the A series, the P series, and then we swing all the way around to the H series. And that the X1 is gonna go away. But I'm telling you right now, pretty sure they're wrong. So for the people who are speculating that the X series is gonna go away and the P series is just gonna take over that whole segment, they're leaving something out, and that's basic business principles 101, which is you need to have a product at every price segment going up that pricing ladder. The people who run Bambu Lab, they're not idiots. In fact, they came from one of the largest electronics companies in the world. That's DJI. Now let's look how DJI does it, because they're gonna do it the same way. DJI Neo comes in at $200. Then you've got the Flip at $439. You've got the Mini Pro at $759. Then you've got the Air 3 at $1,100, and then you've got the DJI Mavic at $2,200. Is this pricing strategy looking similar to anything you recognize? Let's take a look over at Bambu Lab. We have the A1 Mini is starting at $200. Then we have the Mini Combo at $329. We've got the A1, the standard A1 is coming in at $279. The Combo coming in at $379. Then we jump up to the high end. We're looking at the Bambu Lab H2D. It's $2,000 with the combo. The H2S is $1,500 with the combo. The P2S, they're speculating, is going to be around the same price as the P1S before it went on sale. Now, currently it's on sale. Great sale for the combo. I've bought several of them. Is $550, but you're looking at $750 on this one, all right? So if we talk about this, if we look like what we're going up to $750, and then the next one's at $1,500, $750 to $1,500, that's double the price. That is a hole in the marketing big enough to back a semi into, or maybe an X2C coming right in at $2,000 for the base, $1,250 for the combo. That is too big a marketing hole for them to just ignore. They're not going to sit there and walk away from people who are like, well, you know, I want something better, and I've got more money than $750, but I don't have quite enough to afford an H2S. They're not going to leave that on the table. Also, what you have to understand is not everyone needs a large format. I've got the H2D. You saw it over there. I did have it on my desk for a while. It dominates the desk. There is no extra room on that desk when you put it on the desk. So I put it on its own cart. I'm like, you can have the cart. You go dominate that cart and you have fun with that. I need my desk space back. But I had the Elegoo Centauri and the X1C on that desk. In fact, the X1C is going to move back to that desk because that's a great place for it, because I can have it on a desk and I can get work done and I can have space for other things. There are people who want to have, especially people who are doing like prototypes, stuff like that, they don't want to have their desk space dominated by a giant printer, and not everyone needs a large format printer. In fact, somebody probably wants all the things I can get out of, say, an H2S in a smaller, mid-size format. And that is where the X2C is coming in. It's gonna happen. I'll bet my hat on it, all right? So, when is it going to happen? Well, let's take a look. Right now, they're trying to get the P2S out. They've got some issues. They're talking about whether it's tariffs or FCC regulations. Doesn't matter. there's a delay. Something's going on that's holding that up. Also, they're trying to launch the Voron Vortex system, whatever, the multi-head system, that is going to be the H2C and probably also an upgrade path for the H2D. Fingers crossed, because I have an H2D. I'd love to be able to upgrade it to a multi-tool system. So that's going to take the H series up higher. The P series is going to slide in. We're going to have that giant hole, but it's got to be first quarter next year at the soonest that we're going to see the X2C. But I could really see them holding on till spring. Pretty sure there's a big printing show this spring. I don't really remember the exact dates, but the fact is that late first quarter, early second quarter is when you can expect an X2C. Now, they could call it the P2C or something like that. The naming thing doesn't really matter what they call it. The point is, there will be another printer that slots into that. They're just not going to leave that price cap from $750 to $1,500. They're not going to leave that open. They're going to park something right into that $1,000, $1,250 with the combo. They're going to find a way. Now, what the specs, what they'll add to it, that's what could be up for discussion, all right? There could be all sorts of new stuff. They could take all the features with that, and they could add, I don't know, active chamber heating in there as well. Yeah, the X2C is going to happen. All right, if you like what we do here, go ahead and chomp the old like button, smash that subscribe, ring the bell on the way out. You all take care. God bless, and as always, shine on.